How you guys doing?
Good. How about you?
How are you?
Fantastic, man. Fantastic. Who's first?
Can you maybe elaborate a little bit more on how this whole running game, even though it's not going as well as maybe you guys have wanted to, it's still opening up things for the pass game?
Yeah, I think part of the reason that we've been as explosive. Sorry, guys. The old protein bar before practice got me there. A little dry, but I think a lot of the reason that we've had some explosive passes is because people know that we are committed to running the ball. Is this productive as we want it to be right now? No. Is it getting there? It's better. Do we still have plenty of things to fix, and do we have to get better at some certain places? Absolutely. I think one thing that when I say people, I don't mean that derogatory.
Feelings or anything. It's all right.
I just think running the football is a collective effort. It's not just an O-line. It's not just a running back. It's not just. It's everybody collectively executing at a really high level. And so, are we there yet? No. Is that on us as a coaching staff to get it where it needs to be? Absolutely. We don't hide from that. We don't run from that. We've got to improve. But again, I think part of the reason that we have been successful on the football is because people know that at least we are committed to running the football. And hopefully as we can improve on that, and really kind of make this offense as good as it needs to be.
Are there things that DeAndre can do to help the rushing attack as far as him keeping the ball, keeping defenses a little more on their toes?
Part of running the ball in offenses like these is taking what those guys give you, have we had some opportunities for him to keep the ball? Probably on one hand, maybe, in terms of, thinning the box out, designing quarterback runs, those are all things this offense can do. Really it just becomes, what gives us the best advantage, based on, who he is and our skill set. But I think, again, for us to run the football better, that's an 11-guy thing. It's not a one-guy thing or a design thing. We've just got to be better overall.
Any sort of proverbial light come on for Naquan last week in practice to let him have such a big breakout?
He typically practices at a high level, and so I don't think he did anything different. I think, one of the great things about his offense, is that the ball kind of found him, and I think for him especially, the ability to run through tackles and make plays with the ball in his hands, and ultimately that's what won that football game. He had to go, run through a tackle, get into the open field, try not to get caught, and, find a way into the end zone. But, I think ball in hand for him, is what makes him special.
In the comeback, you kind of pretty much had to air it out to get it done. Does it kind of give you a reason to kind of stick with the run going into the next game? Like, how do you avoid just abandoning the run?
We got to be able to run the football. Run the football is what we do. And we're never going to give up on it. I know some people like to throw us 80 times a game. That's not who we are, and it's not who we're going to be. Because if that's what you allow yourself to become, then that thing will never get fixed. It'll never get better. 2 years from now, it won't be what we want it to be. If that's going to be, hit the eject button as soon as things don't go right. There's plenty of people that do that in life, and things typically don't work out for them very well. We just got to get better. And again, we got to do what's best for our personnel. We got to do what's best for our football team week to week. But we're never going to hit the eject button. We got to get better.
How good has Cam's pass blocking been? A couple of times he made some really good pickups.
Really good. Yeah. All of our running backs. Coach Pimp does an incredible job with those guys. This may be the best collective group, of pass protectors that I've been around. And again, that's a tribute to Coach Pimp and those guys being committed to protecting the passer.
DeAndre said that in the second half they kind of felt more relaxed. They kind of let themselves go a little bit. Also, do you think you can be a little bit more aggressive early on in games? Is that a factor at all?
I'll put it this way. We had plenty of throws called, whether we, didn't do what we were supposed to do, false start, in terms of trying to press the ball down the field. Obviously it's hard to press the ball down the field when there's a bunch of pressure, which they brought an exorbitant amount of pressure during that game, probably more than we expected, especially in early downs. But yeah, that's what we do. We're always going to try to be aggressive, and sometimes to our own fault. But yeah, absolutely, we'd love to push the ball down the field, 2-3 times a quarter if it allows us to. But again, kind of got to take what's given and you got to do what's best for your football team from a protection standpoint, from a run game standpoint.
How much better was the O-line play, and how much did Dickerson play a role in that group kind of finding a synergy and working well together?
Yeah, just having him back in general is really good for the football team. From a pass protection standpoint, from a run game standpoint, I think more importantly, anything else from a communication standpoint. I think when Landon's out there, it almost sounds like a high school softball game. And there's a lot of chatter going, but he does a great job from a communication standpoint. And I think that helps make the O-line better. I think that helps build confidence. So not so much from the physical side, but just the communication side. I think that adds a lot of confidence to that group. So awesome to have him back.
Coach, Miami week. What have you heard? Playing in this rivalry, and are you excited to play in it?
Oh yeah. This is one of the ones when you're growing up, watching game day. This was a staple. This is something you always want to be a part of. It's always going to be exciting. There was always going to be great athletes on the field, and you knew there was always going to be a lot of passion involved. And especially as a kid growing up in the South, where football is really all anybody cares about. To be a part of one of the rivalries that kind of helped make this game what it is today. From a fandom standpoint, a television standpoint, a rivalry standpoint. This is one of the really special games in all of college football. To be a part of it, coach, player, just really fortunate to, and more than anything else, just excited.
Yeah.
I'm ready to roll. I'm ready to go get pieces.
Whose fingerprints were on those trick plays?
Huh?
Whose sort of fingerprints were on those trick plays?
That's Coach Taggart's deal, man. Right. He wants a couple every week, and just
Those are your designs, but he was
no. We're all in it together, man. So just no. Coach Tagg always wants a couple ready, and got a couple called, one into a bad look, which kind of made it look worse than it was. Had a guy running wide open down the sideline all by himself, and just wasn't able to get the ball off. But that's something Coach Tagg always wants, and something we'll have ready.
Coach, from the first two games to these last two games, what's maybe the biggest area of improvement you've seen from DeAndre?
Just confidence in the system. Just letting the system work for him. The ability to kind of take what's given, take completions, managing the line of scrimmage, and just really from a decision-making, process. Just confidence in knowing that it's okay to hand the ball off here. It's okay to do this here. It's okay to take the check down here. And just really just overall system.